You're living significantly more comfortably than any king in the vast majority of the history. Your house is warmer than a medieval palace, your fridge has more variety than a Roman feast, and you can also talk to a person on the other side of the planet for free. We have so many comforts that our ancestors could only dream of. By every measurable standard, you are living better than 99% of humans who have ever existed. So tell me, why, even though having all the comforts of life, we are the ones suffering the most? Globally, over 300 million people are clinically depressed. The World Health Organization reports that anxiety and depression have risen by more than a quarter in a single decade. 720,000 people will end their own lives this year. 1 every 40 seconds. Suicide is now the second leading cause of death for people under 30 across most of the world. More than 1 billion people worldwide live with a mental health disorder. This means nearly 1 in every 7 people globally experiences some form of mental health condition. Then there is the screen. The average human now spends nearly 7 hours a day staring into a glowing rectangle. For Gen Z, it climbs past 9. More than a third of your waking life. Fed to an algorithm that does not love you, does not know you, and is engineered by some of the most expensive engineering talent on Earth to keep you scrolling until you die. One pornography website alone receives over 4 billion visits a month. More than Netflix, more than any news site on Earth. The average boy is exposed to it before he turns 12. Obesity has tripled worldwide since 1975. Birth rates in nearly every country are collapsing. Marriages are dissolving. And the question nobody asks in public is the only question that matters. What's causing all this? The answer is modern life itself. The way we live, the way we think, and the system built around pleasure-seeking, endless distraction, and escape. The first thing they made easy was food. Sugar, salt, and fat engineered in laboratories to override the fullness signal your body spent a million years perfecting, delivered to your door in 20 minutes. We invented food that is not food, and a hunger that cannot be filled. The man who designed your snack does not eat his own product, but he surely knows what it does. Then there are 1,000 strangers in your pocket, each one performing a curated version of themselves engineered to make you feel envy, lust, or longing, anything that keeps the thumb moving. You scroll past 100 faces and speak to none of them. You go to sleep aching for one real conversation, and the app you opened to escape the ache is the same app that deepened it. We are lonelier than ever, the Surgeon General said, in the most connected era in human history. Then they came for desire itself. Pornography is not an industry that sells a product, it is an industry that sells you. When something is free, you're the product. The business model requires the degradation of a woman on one end and the rewiring of a man on the other. It's the most evil industry, and it would ruin your life if you don't take control. A real viewer is reduced to a customer too broken to ever want the real thing again. The fact that adult sites generate billions of visits every single month tells you everything about the state of modern humanity. It has become so normalized that a person avoiding it for 30 days is treated like he achieved something impossible. Dating apps finished what pornography began. The most sacred encounter in human life, the meeting of two souls reduced to a slot machine. Tell your grandmother you choose a life partner the way you choose a pizza topping. She would weep. When the screen fails to numb you, the shelf is full. Alcohol on every corner, advertised at every sport, until a man who does not drink is the strange one. Cigarettes. We have known for 60 years that they kill, and they still sit in beautifully packed boxes at every counter on Earth. Vapes. The same poison in fruit flavors, designed from the first prototype to addict a child. Weed. Sold in dispensaries that look like Apple stores, marketed as medicine for the very anxiety it deepens. When the substances fail, there are the parties, concerts, and festivals, sold to you as freedom, as expression, as living your best life. Look at one honestly. A field of strangers, drinking the poison, breathing the smoke, basically NPCs, screaming at someone on a stage who does not know they exist, and then posting everything to apps designed to collect their attention, study their behavior, and sell their data to advertisers. This is not freedom, but it's surely a system designed to keep people distracted, obedient, and living like sheep without even realizing it. And when even that fails, gambling is waiting. The slot machine has moved into your phone, dressed up as a game, as a sport, as an investment. Your grandfather had to drive to a casino to lose his savings. You can lose yours in bed, in your underwear, before breakfast. These things are just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more deeply wrong with the modern world. But I'll leave that task to you. Drop your phone, sit in silence, and think deeply about the world you're living in. Ask yourself the question that makes powerful people nervous. Why is it that every single thing which destroys a human being is legal, beautifully packaged, and available easily? And every single thing which builds a human being requires effort, discipline, and pain? The entire architecture of the modern economy depends on you being a little bit broken. Broken enough to keep reaching for the thing that promises to fix you, never quite fixed enough to stop reaching. The elites are not a conspiracy in a dark room, but they are something more honest than that. They are a system, optimizing itself, with no villain in the center. Just 1,000 corporations, each making the rational decision to make you weaker because weakness sells and strength does not. The poor stay poor because the systems that profit from them require it. The rich get richer because they own the machines that mine your attention, your hunger, your loneliness, your lust. Your brain was not built for this world. It was built for scarcity. A world where pleasure was rare and rarity made it sacred. A piece of fruit in summer, fire in winter, a face you loved across that fire. The reward system in your skull evolved across 2 million years for a single purpose, to make you chase what was hard to find. Then, in the span of a single generation, we made everything easy. And the same machinery that kept your ancestors alive is now the leash by which a small number of corporations drag you slowly through your only life. The ancient Greeks had a word, eudaimonia. It did not mean happiness. It meant the full use of what a human being is capable of becoming. They believed, almost unanimously across centuries and cultures, that a life of pure pleasure was not a life worth living. That comfort, untested, made the soul small. That difficulty, chosen well, was the only road to becoming someone you could respect when you looked in the mirror. They were right, and we forgot. Every wisdom tradition on earth told us the same thing in 1,000 different languages. The Christians, the Muslims, the Hindus, the Stoics, the Buddhists. That pleasure is not the point. That you were given a soul and a finite number of mornings, and the question of your life is not how comfortable you can make it, but what you do with the time before the door closes. You have limited time, so choose wisely where and how to spend it.